I came here all the way from the People's Republic of Los Angeles, so let me right off the bat say that it is an honor and a privilege to be among my fellow gun-toting, Bible-thumping, flag-waving, tax-hating, freedom-loving patriots who are going to take back this country and in 2014 rip that gavel out of Harry Reid's cold, arthritic hands. You are the loveliest bunch of astroturf I have ever seen in my life. And by the way, you don't look like a violent, angry mob. You look like a nice person. I bet you've never even been a Wisconsin or Occupy Wall Street protester. And let me say, I condemn the police use of force against Occupy Wall Street. They did not use nearly enough. Now, I speak all around the country because our freedoms are under assault, and it starts at the top. So I have a message for President Obama. It has never been about race. None of us care if Barack Obama is light-skinned or dark-skinned. The problem we have with him and his supporters is that they are thin-skinned. They treat any criticism like an act of war, the only time they understand war, and then they tell us to go along to get along and be bipartisan. Well, when a liberal tells a conservative, be bipartisan, what that liberal is really telling the conservative is, shut up and agree with me. Well, if the left would like bipartisanship, I've got some ways we could be bipartisan and we'll all get along just fine. First, let's compromise on the issue of gun control. And there's some of you like, what did that hippie with the long hair from the left coast just say? Yeah, let's compromise on gun control. Here's how it works. Liberals favor gun control. Conservatives are against it. Well, let's be bipartisan. Let's simply take away all the guns from the liberals and give them to us. That way, if there's ever a conflict like Election 2000 that cannot be resolved peaceably, we will win because we will have all the guns. Let's compromise on taxes. The left favors higher taxes, the right favors lower taxes. Well, if the left likes socialism and wealth redistribution so much, fine by me. Let's simply take the money from them and give it to us. Now, if they try to stop us, remember my first bullet point, we will have all the guns. Let's compromise on energy. If the left hates oil and coal, let's simply ban liberals from using oil and coal and force them to live in mud huts powered by wind from Joe Biden and Barack Obama's speeches. Now, I normally stay far away from social issues, but I asked this question of Rick Santorum and Jim DeMint in South Carolina because everybody knows where they stand on social issues. I wanted to have a little fun. I asked them, Senators, would you still be willing to be pro-life if you knew that modern medical technology would show that the child would grow up to be defective ideologically like Nancy Pelosi? Rick Santorum, after collecting himself, said, I believe there is hope for every child. Jim DeMint said, wow, Eric, that's a hard choice. He's not in the Senate anymore. I think I accidentally got him fired. Now, people say that we can't make fun of Barack Obama. And let me say one thing, by the way, because we hear a lot of talk about guns. If Barack Obama wants to reduce gun violence in America, tell your Attorney General Eric Holder to stop gun running. And if somebody says, you know what, but guns and schools, death all over the place, only a ban will be appropriate, I say, you know what, you're right, a total ban is necessary. Let's just shut down public schools. Now, people say you can't make fun of Barack Obama, you know? They say he's like actor Will Smith. There's nothing to make fun of. He's cool, calm, collected. For those who say we can't make fun of Barack Obama, this is still America. So I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we should. Yes, we absolutely will. And the message you delivered in 2010 and will again in 2014 is, Mr. President, no, you can't. No, you won't. And no, you don't.
That's it.
There is tons to make fun of Barack Obama. First of all, he's nothing like actor Will Smith. I saw the movies Independence Day and Men in Black. Will Smith secured the borders and took care of the aliens. I don't want to say that Barack Obama's head is disproportioned, but come on now, they should rename the presidential plane Air Force One. And you would think with ears that size just once he would listen, but he doesn't. There's tons to make fun of Obama. I don't want to say that Obama's a snob, but I look at him and I think, picture what would happen if Jacques Chirac and John Kerry had a baby. Now, you know what? I'll take that back, because there's nothing wrong with being half black, but to say somebody's half French is unforgivable. And when Barack Obama said that he was sending drones to the Middle East, John Kerry said, finally, a job that I'm qualified for. And I know there's some libertarians here, but when I met Rand Paul, I told him, I said, Mr. Paul, you're a good man, but I've got one disagreement with you. There is one time where it is perfectly acceptable to use drones on American citizens on American soil. He said, when's that? I said, it's perfectly okay if it's the Academy Awards. Anything that gets rid of Seth MacFarlane and Hollywood, good policy. Now, people say you can't make fun of Barack Obama. I don't want the second coming of Jacques Chirac and John Kerry. I'd rather the second coming of Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher. Now, with them in mind, I wrote the book Ideological Bigotry with a couple of follow-ups, and if you can stand the cold for a few minutes, I've got books and t-shirts. I recommend the books because they're more expensive. Now, I did the research as to why the left hates the right, and they do hate our guts. It's because we exist and we breathe air. That's it. Take the word Jewish, and by the way, quick tangent, I should know as a Jewish person who drives long distances, let me tell you, never ever rely on a Palestinian GPS tracker. I took one wrong turn, ended up at a cemetery, and a very sinister voice said, you have reached your final destination. I got so angry I threw the thing out the window, which was good because 5 seconds later it exploded. But take the word Jewish, replace it with the word conservative. Take the words Hamas and Hezbollah, replace it with liberal Democrat. The left are verbal suicide bombers, except less warm and fuzzy. And if you're a minority conservative, a Michael Steele, a Sarah Palin, an Eric Cantor, a Dr. Benjamin Carson, a Michelle Bachmann, a Marco Rubio, they will try to destroy you and they will try to rip you to shreds if you believe in radical Christian notions such as, oh, I don't know, something dangerous and sinister in Christianity like love thy neighbor. You know, late at night, I used to be worried about Osama bin Laden wielding a bomb, was never threatened by Pat Robertson wielding a book. But I've got good news for you in the last 3 weeks. Hugo Chavez is dead. Joy Behar is leaving television. And on May 1st, it'll be the 2-year anniversary. Osama bin Laden is still currently burning underground with 72 Helen Thomases. Gaddafi was not so lucky. He got stuck with 72 Katie Courics. Joy Behar was turned down. Cruel and unusual punishment under the 8th Amendment, even for terrorists. Now, so I became a conservative. I became a conservative because I'm the son of a Holocaust survivor. When you are the son of a Holocaust survivor, you will not get an ounce of sympathy growing up for anything as long as you live. Teenage angst did not exist in my household. I remember at age 14, I tried to convince my father's social studies class was too hard. He just looked at me unsympathetically and asked, "Did the teacher try to shoot you?" I said, "No, Dad." He said, "Get upstairs. Books, learn, personal responsibility. No Victocrats in the house." My parents are still complaining in South Florida. My dad's like, "We've got to secure the border." I said, "Dad, what have the Cubans ever done to you? They're conservatives. What's the problem? What do you have against Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz?" He said, "Son, I'm talking about the northern Florida border. The New York liberals keep coming." He wants us to get our best sharpshooters at the Citadel in South Carolina, keep them from reaching Georgia. Florida, Arizona, California, Texas, overrun by parasites. They drain the state of services. Don't work. Demand new services. Speak a foreign language I don't understand. I don't recognize my own country anymore, all because parasites take and give nothing back. Of course, I'm talking about AARP liberals. I'm tired of the liberals. I'm tired of the Pelosiraptor. I'm tired of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Debbie Wasserman Schultz acts like she knows everything. She's Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. She knows nothing. And what happens when a flaming leftist lunatic like Debbie Wasserman gets married to a flaming Nazi like Sergeant Schultz? You get a flaming, angry leftist child ranting and raving at the world. Now you know the origins of MSNBC's Ed Schultz. Now, I will wrap it up with a story of identity politics involving my friend Herman Cain. I said, "Herman, you're a good man, but we're not there yet. America's not ready for you yet." He said, "Eric, what do you have against black conservatives?" And he mentioned people like Michael Steele, Ward Connerly, Armstrong Williams, Tim Scott. I said, "All of them disqualified." He said, "Eric, what do you have against black conservatives? I said, black conservatives? Herman, come on. I was talking about the follically challenged. Look at 2008. Rudy Giuliani, John McCain, Fred Thompson for the Republicans. Democrats offer Christopher Dodd, Barack Obama, John Edwards. No substance, destructive policies, really good hair. I said, come on, you had no chance against Mitt Romney. Tall, good hair, inoffensive, looks like he was born out of the womb wearing a red and blue diagonal necktie. Of course they thought he could balance the budget. They thought he was your CPA. I said, I'm sorry, Herman, but the cane train needs Rogaine. And he looked at me and said two things that I will always remember. He said, Eric, number one, if I get the VP or defense secretary, I'll have access to Predator drones and I'll know where to find you. The second thing he said, and I wish politicians understood this, it is always better to have people ask, why are you finished speaking, than when are you finished speaking. Normally I would say more, but we've got other speakers. It's getting a little chilly, so due to sequester budget cuts, I'm going to cut about 40 minutes out of my hour remark. And as we all know, we've heard it already, the sequester is racist, the sequester causes climate change, the sequester is responsible for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Let me tell you the truth about the sequester. It causes an increase in presidential hyperbole and a decrease in testosterone levels in metrosexual presidents over age 40 who were pretty girly to begin with. Let me tell you, any man that bowls a 37, wears mom jeans, shoots 2 for 22, and doesn't know how to skeet shoot, this man makes Phil Donahue look like a real guy. This man should take beta blockers, he's so sissy male. Now, I leave you with a Hebrew word. That word is hineni. It means here I am. And then I will be selling copies of my books. I take checks from conservatives, not from liberals. Even though the dollar is only worth 70 cents, I won't hold it against you. This fedora will be as upside down as the California government. I am an upper middle class panhandler. Please throw something in this hat if you can. If you don't buy one book, buy 3. I take credit cards. I don't give them back. Hineni, it means here I am. Never give up. Never give in. Always fight for what you believe in. Never back down from a fight. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Bring a bazooka or a Predator drone if you have access to one. And if you do, we have paperwork for you to fill out. We are right. The left is wrong. We will win. They will lose. We will laugh and we will make them cry in 2014, 2016, 2020 and beyond and have fun doing it. Live, love, laugh, win. Hineni, here I am, conservative, Tea Party, and proud of it always. Thank you so very much. God bless.